I have a really interesting story for you guys today. I mean, it's really interesting. How did a Californian coast redwood make it all the way to Colombia? There are three types of redwood trees, or sequoias, which is the scientific name for this species of trees. We have the dawn redwood, the giant sequoia, and the coast redwood. The coast redwood is the lone tree we can find in Colombia. And when I say lone tree, I really mean it's the only tree of this kind that you can find in the entire country. Let's head 3 hours south of Medellin to Sonsón, Colombia. And it is here, in this town's main plaza, that we can find the only coast redwood growing in Colombian soil. Sonsón is a small town with a population of about 30,000 people. And back in the late 1800s, Joaquín Antonio Uribe planted the lone coast redwood in the town's main square. Joaquín Antonio Uribe was a professor, writer, and a very respected botanist, and he was from Sonsón. Medellin's botanical garden is actually named in his honor. This tree in Sonsón is over 100 years old, and coast redwoods can live up to 2,000 years. It's mind-blowing. The giant sequoia and the coast redwood are the oldest living organisms in our planet. It's incredible, and I was just recently in California, and in Yosemite you can see them, and they're just majestic and massive and beautiful. When I first heard the story of the coast redwood in Sonsón, I thought it was incredibly interesting and just amazing that such an emblematic tree, from California could find its way to a relatively not well-known town in Colombia. But this story gets even more interesting. Last year, during Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, I was in Colombia, and the group of expats, they were getting together to celebrate Thanksgiving. So a friend invited me. All I knew was that it was at this guy's Isaac's house. I'd never met Isaac. I get there and I get to talking with Isaac, and he's an extremely nice guy. And he has a passion for trees. I mean, this guy loves trees, and he's planted trees all over Medellin. He tells me, hey, do you want to go up to my terrace? I want to show you something. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. We go up to the terrace, and as I walk into the terrace, there's like 150 little planted, it looks like a little shrub. I'm like, what is this? And he says, do you know what they are? And I was like, I have no idea. It just looks like a little plant. And he says they're sequoias, they're coast redwoods. I'm like, what? And I'd recently heard about the story of Sonsón and the only coast redwood that, this botanist planted over 100 years ago. And Isaac has 150 little saplings in his terrace. It's incredible. And so he's from California, and he had also heard of the story of the coast redwood in Sonsón. And so he'd brought over these saplings and he planted them, and he'd connected with the mayor in Sonsón. And they were so excited, they invited him out. There's a whole video on YouTube where he's getting interviewed. And once these saplings get to a certain age, Sonsón, the entire town is adopting these trees. Eventually, in hundreds of years, hopefully there's going to be a beautiful sequoia coast redwood forest in Colombia. I just thought it was amazing. Working for Artisan Tropic, I spend a good amount of time, in cassava farms and in plantain farms. And there's something so special about being with Mother Nature and seeing the perfection of how life works and how trees are living and breathing and how they provide us with food. And so knowing that there's people out there that want to preserve these majestic trees that have been deforested, obviously it's such a massive tree, it provides so much wood, and just to know people are taking care of them and that there's a future definitely one of the first things I'm gonna do when I am able to go back to Colombia. I'm going to Sonsón. I'm gonna take some awesome pictures of this beautiful Coast Redwood in the town square. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And as always, I will see you next Friday. Ciao.